No, the ayes have it. I understand the next financial review members wish to debate is the financial review of the Ministry of Health. The question is that the report of the Health Committee on the 2012-13 financial review of the Ministry of Health be noted. The Honourable Annette King.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. The health portfolio is in trouble. It is in serious trouble. After 6 years, into the 6th year of Tony Rao's stewardship, 6 years of his decision-making and 6 years of his policies, he is still blaming the previous government, and me in particular, 9 years after I finished being the minister. And what I want to say to the member opposite who never contributed anything in health, that the blame game is part of his arsenal for managing health. And I want to add to it bullying of chairs and CEOs of staff and NGOs, controlling of the OIAs that go out, the information that the Ministry of Health is allowed to put out, and covering up. Because I believe the Minister knew a lot more about Southern DHB and Health Link South's money than he is letting on. And I would give him, under national standards, an achieve for politics and a not achieve for making a better health system for New Zealanders. Because, in fact, he has managed to create a climate of fear in the health system of New Zealand. And I think if you want to look at some of those who work at the cold front who had something to say about this, I suggest you read the statement from the Association of Salaried Medical Specialists, in fact, in other words, our doctors, who put out a statement last week when they heard Mr Rao was leaving. They said it's a health minister with a mixed record, a tale of two health ministers. Performance was good, very good to start with, but after a couple of years, his performance became increasingly disappointing. He abandoned his commitment to address the vulnerability of the specialist health workforce, our specialist doctors in our hospitals, by using, quote, dodgy and misleading data. He turned a blind eye to public hospitals struggling to function under entrenched specialist shortages. He increasingly financially squeezed our public hospitals while increasing demands on what they are required to do. He also, and I'm quoting all this from the salaried medical specialists, he had excessive micro-political management, including threatening financial penalties. He created a punitive culture in the public hospital, and there was a failure to invest in the health workforce in our public hospitals, including our senior doctors. Mr Chairman, that came from our senior doctors working in the health system, not my words, their words. And in fact, his insidious and bullying approach to the portfolio has now led to staff being afraid to speak out, staff having to be scared that their jobs will be at risk, unable to give free and frank advice, and NGOs and providers scared of their funding not continuing if they do not agree with the Minister. So I say to the member who's over there interjecting, let me read to her a letter I have received, a very unusual letter I have received, and it says, I am a long-time loyal employee of the Ministry of Health. I have worked in the sector for many years. I cannot recall a time when the targeting has become so personalised, insidious and dangerous to work in the health sector. It appears to be overt targeting of both chairs and CEOs in a number of DHBs. It's embarrassing to see senior leaders bullying, dominating and shouting at individual DHBs. Increasingly, DHBs are required to have all their OIAs checked and agreed to. To ensure the messages are controlled and the information modified. It is increasingly the messages are verbal, so nothing can be traced. There is no sense of direction and the leadership is totally inept. DHBs are overtly being depowered and made ineffective. There is no understanding in the sector. This is an increasing risk to health. Mr. Chairman, these come from those working in the health sector, and that is why I think they need to be exposed, because this minister has been very successful in keeping the lid on health, but not successful in improving the health of many New Zealanders. We learnt in this last few days the cost of going to a doctor for adult New Zealanders has gone up, Mr. Chairman.
The question is that the report of the Health Committee on the 2012-13 financial review of the Ministry of Health be noted. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. I understand the next financial review members wish to debate is a review of the